Hello and welcome both to the people who are joining us here in Zoom and the people watching this on Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook and you want to participate in the live Q&A, there is still time to join us here in Zoom so that you can get questions from TJ answered in live time. Just check out the Facebook event and then join through the registration there. Drop-ins welcome, I promise. First, I'm going to tell you the whole annual planning thing. I feel like it scares people. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to get started. We were literally just talking about that. I am thrilled that TJ Everhart, the CEO of TJ Everhart Consulting, is joining us to talk about this topic because I think it's one that we need more clarity on. And even if you knew how to annually plan for your business after 2020, you probably don't know how to plan for it anymore. So this workshop is going to help you with that. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about TJ. She has over 20 years in operations management within Wells Fargo, Fidelity National Information Systems, and T-Mobile, just to name a few. After finding herself in the role of the go-to person to help turn underperforming team members and departments into high performers at these different roles, she realized she loved coaching, which is how she then kind of grew into the TJ Everhart coaching role. She now brings that expertise to people all over the United States. So for those of you who are in Delaware and you're like, oh, everyone here is a Delaware speaker, not true. We are branching out. We are bringing TJ in from Birmingham, Alabama. In addition to being a CEO, TJ is a blogger and podcaster of Life Ain't Fair, Redesign It, which I have really been enjoying watching or listening to. So I recommend that highly if you want to check that out. I'm going to be quiet now, and I am going to let TJ take it away.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Jen, my NABO sister. And we cannot say enough about NABO and the great connections. NABO is the National Association of Women Business Owners, and you would think that they pay me, but they don't. I just value what I've gotten out of there. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Thank you again for having me. For those of you who've never sat in any type of training of mine or any type of workshop, you might as well put your seatbelts on because I don't like boring. So I'm all animated. So it's going to be a good time. I am going to answer some questions about 10 minutes towards the end. Okay, so let me go ahead and share and get started. Let's get started, ladies and gents and whoever's watching us. Thank you for watching on Facebook. So that is me. Let's talk about getting your annual plan going for a transformational 2021. So if any of you are like me, that means a lot of us are the same. We had some tough 2020, a tough 2020. So let's talk about how do we change and pivot from what 2020 was to get ready for 2021. So Jen mentioned a little bit of who I am. I am Tawana Everhart. I go by TJ. I wish I could say I own. I probably still have some money left on it, but I have a bachelor's of science in liberal studies from Sanford University. I also have a master's of science in management. That's from Liberty, my bachelor's from Sanford. So I have over 20 years of operations management experience in several Fortune 500 companies. And what does that? We'll talk about what operations management means and what I will be bringing with you today. So in that role, though, I've managed up to budgets that's as much as $40 million. That means that I was responsible for making sure that my department, I've managed departments and divisions. I was responsible for making sure we met our budgets and we met our goals. So I take that same type of mindset when I go in and talk to clients. So I'm a business strategist with a focus on operations. I do consulting. I'm a coach and a podcaster. We come into businesses and look at your operations to help you strategize. Then we have a training program. We help you change and we help you perform. Because if you're not performing in business, you're just doing some stuff. And doing some stuff costs too much money to just be doing stuff. So we want you to perform and meet your goals. So let's talk about operations management and strategy. I want you guys to tell me if you can see this video. If somebody give me a thumbs up. Joan, is it good? Can you hear it? Okay. You can hear it? Yes? All right. It's not okay, well, they're not really saying anything. Just take a look at it. I already see in the chat. Okay, so somebody, you see my question. My question is, how are your nerves after watching this? Somebody wants to, you could come off of mute and tell me. Somebody come off of mute and just tell me. How were your nerves after you watched this video? Like, it's too much? It's too much. Somebody come off and tell me.
I've walked around Istanbul. They drive like that there, so not too nervous, but I
Not too nervous
understand.
for you, but that's your life, right? What, Joan?
I would not want to drive in that, nor would I want to walk around in it. I mean, I couldn't dodge them all in all those directions. I don't have peripheral vision, but that is scary. And that's my desk some days.
Well, you know what? That's a lot of people's business.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And I'm saying that to say someone missed some operational things here. There should be some stop signs and stop lights with some directions on which way we should be going. But that's what operations management does. It kind of puts things into perspective for your business so that you'll be moving in the right direction. So some of you, your business is running like that. I know it because I can ask some questions and some people are clueless. So the role of an operations management and strategy is to provide a plan for the operations function so that it can make the best use of its resources. So operations strategy specifies the policies and plans for using the organization's resources to support its long-term competitive strategy. In other words, with all those beautiful words that I just said, it's to keep your business from not looking like that Audubon, or well, I don't even know where that is, but it's to keep your business in a manageable way so that you can get to where you're going. Because somebody probably died along the way on that, and it's probably some stuff dying in business too. So when you think about operations going forward, I want that picture to always come into your head. If I don't have clear policies, procedures, and directions for my business, it's just a whole bunch of little chaos running all over the place, which is not good. So for 2021, though, where are you going? When you start thinking about the things that you've gone through in 2020, the one question I must ask you, though, is where are you going? Do you look like this lady right here? What are your 2021 revenue goals? I said this to someone earlier today. Listen, at the end of the day, I know you may find this hard to believe when I say this, but business is about making money. Oh, gasp, fall out. Just, oh God, that's profound, right? No, business is about making money. If you're not concerned about making money, then you're probably just in your hobby. And that's okay if that's what you want to do. But if you want to be in a business and sustain, you have to make money. So for 2021, I'm going to go ahead and ask you to start thinking about the first thing. What is your 2021 revenue goal? You have to know where you're going in order to plan to get there. So I'm going to start. There are a bunch of things that as we go into 2021, a lot of things that we're going to have to talk about as it relates to transforming. But Jen only gave me 45 good minutes. So that means I'm going to touch on one thing today. And we keep the conversation going. I'm always open. But I want to ask you, what are your 2021 revenue goals? What amount of money would you like to see your organization make for the year? You start with that. Whenever you're getting ready to plan out your year, you have to plan on where you're going. And it's amazing to me, most people plan what business or more services or products, but I want to ask you to think about what are your 2020 revenue goals and how are you going to get there? That's what we're going to talk about. How many of you have heard of SWOT? Raise your hand for me if you lift your hands up in the air, raise them like you just don't care. Okay. Okay, I'm glad to see some of you have heard of SWOT. Okay. Most of the time, I hear people say they know what SWOT is. Some people don't. But most of the time, people think about SWOT only during their business plan. when they're putting together their business plan. But when you're doing strategic planning, you should SWOT your business out, and you're going to SWOT your transformation out for 2021. Your SWOT analysis should not just be done once when you start your business. That needs to be done several times, at least twice within the year, and certainly as you get ready to go into your next year. So let's talk about the SWOT analysis as a component to strategizing your business so that you can transform in 2021. So strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, that's what the SWOT means. Let's talk about what is that? The strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats. So I have a free download on my website where you can download your SWOT, because what I want you to be thinking about as you talk about transformation. So transformation is redesigning, that's my word, redesigning, doing something better, taking it and turning it into something else. So you need to SWOT yourself as an individual and SWOT your business. Okay, so your strengths. Now, I just threw out some things as it relates to the SWOT. I'm going to just give you some bullets, but then I want you to be thinking about this as we go. So as you go into 2021, what did you do well? And what will you continue to do? What works for you? That's what the S is, your strength, your internal strengths. What went well for your business that year? So I'm giving you some things that you can think about and take with you, but here's some bullet points. But as you're in the chat, I want you guys to be putting into the chat some of the things you think your business has done well as it relates to your strength. What is good about your business that will keep your business going into 2021? So great customer reviews. Some of you, that's good, right? That's a strength. I have great customer reviews. Customers love, they talk about me well. Positive cash flow. How many of you have a positive cash flow? And there's a difference between being a profitable business and having a positive cash flow. So if you have a positive cash flow, that's a strength for you. You have creative team members. And then, like I said, I just bulleted some things, but this is not exhaustive. And it's not even towards one particular business. Just some things for you to think about, okay? You have creative team members. You're innovative. You have innovative products and services. You have policies and procedures in place, handbooks, DRPs. Okay, raise your hand if you know what a DRP is. Give me some thumbs up. Give me something. DRP. Let me see. I'm looking. All right. This is why you need me in your life, good people. This is why you need me in your life. It's a disaster recovery plan. And most small business owners don't have them. You know what a disaster that we all just went through for 2020? Anybody can think of a disaster we all just went through in 2020? Yep. Do you know that corporations already had disaster recovery plans in place so that when these things happen, it was no surprise to them of what they were going to do? Yep. We tried out our disaster recovery plans at least twice a year, meaning let's do a fire drill. I know you guys have been at work and you've seen that we're going to do a fire drill because we need to go through how can we get all these people out of the business. So you have a disaster recovery plan. That's a strength for you. That meant you already knew when a disaster hit, you were what to do to keep your business going. You have knowledgeable and engaging leadership. Forbes said, and LinkedIn said, that people don't leave bad companies, they leave bad leaders. So we all have experience and we know some stuff about that. What about you are a marketplace leader? Your product is a leader in the market and you have a recognized competitive advantage. It's so funny to me, it's not really funny, but it's funny when people think that they have a competitive advantage, but nobody knows that you have a competitive advantage except for yourself. So what is that? You and another company do the same product, but you're better at whatever it is. And people recognize that, not just you, but that's a strength for you. Also, when you go to my website, there's one for you to do a personal strength. So personal strength could be that you're creative, that you are a networker, that you are, I say, a hustler. You go and get it. You don't mind talking to people. You negotiate well. Those things are all strengths. So if you think of some things, I want you guys to throw some stuff in the chat so other people can look at it, because what may be a strength for you may also be a strength for them. They just don't know it. You have technology. That's a strength. Weaknesses. What did not work well for you? And what help do you need in 2021? Now, this is the funniest thing for me. When I sit down with people and go through their SWOT analysis with them, most people have like 2 things on their weaknesses. They be like, I'm so good. Oh, we real good. I don't have but like 2 weaknesses, TJ. Then when I start throwing out stuff, they be like, ooh, okay, listen, we all have them. You are not built to be able to know everything. And if you think you know everything, I want you to put that in the category up on the weakness. Okay, when you go back and you be like, I know everything, put that on in the weakness, because you're not built to know everything. So a weakness could be strength. Okay, so Jen says strength for her is creative problem solving. Yes. So, all right, a weakness for me and a weakness for my partner, and we talk about this, is a poor marketing strategy. That's not our strength. I am an ops manager. She's an employment attorney. Marketing is not our thing. So that's a weakness for us that we need to overcome in 2021. Joan said networking is a strength for her. All right, so negative cash flow. So there's a difference between being profitable and having a cash flow. Profitable means at the end of the year, you're in the black. Yay. Negative cash flow means month to month, you can't meet all your bills because you're waiting on somebody. Everybody in business, you've had to wait 30 days, 60 days for somebody to pay you, where your bill still came in, but you may not have had the money in there. So negative cash flow, a one-person operation. My solopreneurs, that's a weakness for you, because what happens when you aren't there? No forward-thinking team members. No business continuity plan. Jen says a weakness for her is she's not good at delegating. So as we go through, Joan said, Joan, okay, that's a good one for you too. As I go through some of these things, I want you to think about it. And let me know if I'm speaking too fast. I know I'm not one of those Southerners. You know, people say for Alabama, some of us talk like this, real slow. I'm the opposite. So let me know if I need to slow down, okay? So no forward-thinking team members, like everybody on your team they're just not that creative. No business continuity plan. So I talked to you about a DRP, which is a disaster recovery plan. Disaster recovery plans, we can talk more about it offline of here, but disasters would be hurricanes, tornadoes, fires, hacking. All of those things could destroy your business. And then no business continuity plan, that's the BCP plan. That means if something happens, let's say you get sick, how does your business keep going? You don't have a plan. You don't have a plan, that's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. So lack of technology. There are some entrepreneurs that don't even have all the software they need. Low morale. Anybody ever experienced that as an entrepreneur, as a leader, and as an employee? And when you deal with low morale, it can really affect your business. Bad leadership. Bad leadership. And you know it's bad because people are complaining to you about the people. All of us as a business owner, whether you have just yourself or 2 or 3 or 100, 200, 300 to 1,000, you know the culture in your environment. You know the culture because you hear it. And so if you don't focus on creating and engaging in culture, you're going to have a problem. Lack of business knowledge. Again, I don't know everything. And so I can't pretend to act like I know everything about accounting when I don't. I don't know how to do everything in marketing. Thank God for Jen. Thank God for BrandSwan. Okay, so that's a weakness. You don't know everything in business, so you lack some principles. No ongoing training platform. That's right. It's a fool who does not continue to learn. So no ongoing training platforms. You get stuck into the old way of doing things, so you're just not up to date. And then you're in a saturated market. That happens a lot. There are some people, I'm just going to throw an industry out, but I'm not speaking bad about it. But you may be a boutique amongst a lot of boutiques. So that's an internal weakness. So you have to sit down and think about these things. The opportunities, where are the areas of growth for you? So the first two, the strength and the weakness, are the things that are internal, has nothing to do with anyone else. They're internal things that could grow your business or harm your business. External are the opportunities. Opportunities. What are the areas of growth for you? So now we start thinking, oh, okay, how do I step out, and what are the areas I can grow? Maybe I can franchise. Maybe I can get investors. Maybe there's a new location territory. Maybe it's partnership. Purchase a competitor. Get a loan. Technology to increase efficiency, economic growth. Do you guys see where all those things are things that are outside of you? Everybody with me? These things are not anything that's in your control. These are things that affect, that are external, that could help you grow. So as you're thinking about these opportunities, sit down. You can't do this in a day. And I'm saying you shouldn't. If you only have like 2 bullets on these things, you haven't really thought it all the way through. Let's talk about threats, external threats that could shut your business down. External things. Fire. 93% of companies without a disaster recovery plan who suffer a major data disaster are out of business within 1 year. Sickness. Sickness has come in and shut a lot of businesses down. A computer hack. What happens if somebody comes in and take all your customers' information and privacy information? The IRS. Are you commingling them funds? Are you doing some stuff you don't have no business doing? Well, the IRS could come in and shut you down. A bad business reputation. We know that it takes 6 or more good things about your business to wipe away one bad thing. But if you have a continuous bad business reputation, you can't last that long. So what about ethical issues? You have some people doing some unethical things. Customer complaints, product or service no longer in high demand. So for instance, office space, how you guys think that they're doing right now? Those people who own office buildings. Commercial real estate agents that sold commercial buildings out, how do you guys think they're doing today? Not that good. Economic disasters. What about you have a product and you sell it at $1.99, and here come Jane Sue and she sell it for 50 cents. What do you do? But those are the things you have to think about as you're doing your strategic planning. Competitors' rates might be lower than yours and may take you out. Okay. All right. So I'm going back again. We're going to swatch your transformation. And what I really want you to think about as you are going into 2021, you're going to have your strengths and your opportunities. Those are great. But it's the weaknesses and the threats that can shut your business down and lead to your demise. Most of the time when I talk to or I study up on a business, it's because they didn't prepare for the threats or they didn't manage to their weaknesses. They didn't They don't know anything about accounting, but they didn't hire an accountant or a CFO to handle their books because they felt like, okay, I know everything. So you have to manage to your weaknesses and overcome and mitigate your threats as much as possible. So let's go back now. Let's think of, first of all, if you're going to transform, you've got to sit down and reflect on how your 2020 went for your business. Don't be so busy working in your business that you can't work on your business. Les Brown just said yesterday, he said, everybody know who Les Brown is, hopefully, but he said, you are in the cereal box. You're in the cereal box that you don't have time to read the labels on the outside. You will be continually working in the business, but not on the business. All right, so what do? We start planning. A goal without a plan is just a wish. Anybody ever heard that? You just wishing. That plan, you planning on a plan, Jen? Remember that part? Planning for a plan. A goal without a plan is just a wish. So how do we put action items to the things that we want to do? So first thing is step away from working in the business to work on the business. That's hard to do. That's very hard to do, but it's necessary that you do it. Go to the resource section of my website for the free SWOT analysis downloads so that you can start doing your 2021 SWOT. Set some time within these last weeks to do nothing but strategize your transformation. Involve all the stakeholders in the strategy meeting. The stakeholders are the people that are on your team. You have to, now if you're working by yourself, you're a solopreneur, you don't have a team, you have to get a team of people to help you. Involve everybody. Don't strategize by yourself, especially when they have insight that you don't have. How many of you remember me saying this? You don't know everything. Anybody remember me saying that? You don't know everything. If you think you know everything, put it on the weakness section. You don't know everything. So you need to have those people involved in the conversations. Be honest with yourself about the welfare of your company. This is not the time for you to grandiose your business. Oh, I'm fabulous. How many weaknesses do you have? We only had 2. So you must be a multi-million-dollar company, huh? You guys got it all together. No, we struggle each month. So be honest with yourself about the welfare of your company. Pull the data to verify what went well and what didn't. If you don't have data, put that in the weakness section. We don't have data. We don't keep up with stats. We don't know. That's a weakness. I need help with that. Have actionable items that can be measured with timelines. So I'm gonna talk about, Tanya is on the call with me, and we're in our strategic planning time, and there's a goal that we have, and she was like, okay, TJ, put that down. We're gonna have this done by March or April, I don't know. And I was like, for real? So I'm like, ooh. But if you don't put action items with timelines to things, again, it will be done up in the air. It'll be just in the air. Oh, we want to increase our market space or share in the marketplace, just whatever, kumbaya. Action items that can be measured, meaning we want to put together a disaster recovery plan. The disaster recovery plan, we will be working with this person to do it. We will start on this date. We will have it complete by that date. Everybody with me on what an action item and how to measure it? Because if you miss those dates or miss the steps, you can always hold yourself accountable to those items. Y'all with me still? Last but not least, don't do this alone. Your viewpoint is just like this. It's tunneled. You only see this. Someone else can come out and ask you questions to see more. You with me on that? Don't do this by yourself. Don't swat out your personal life. Don't swat out your business by yourself. Have someone to come in and sit down with you to help you to do it.